People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal and Liverpool drew 1-1. However, Arsenal defeated Liverpool at Wembley on penalties and claimed the Community Shield. With that being said, we might as well speak about the players' performances. Now, collectively as a team, there were some things, if you look at it without emotion, we could have done better. The goal we conceded was silly. We probably could have had more in possession. I think even when, Liverpool were on top of us and we scored that goal, and Nketiah in particular was quite wasteful. I think he had a good game, but he was quite wasteful with some of his opportunities. It could have been 3-0. We could have won this in 90 minutes. So there are some things to build upon. But the positives, first and foremost, it was a good collective performance, There are some players we feel could be man of the match and all those things, but it's, at the end of the day, I know it's Community Shield, but it's a cup final, It's about the collective. It's not about individuals. It's about what we do. And I think same way against Chelsea and City, the players that were involved today at Wembley again stood up to be counted, defended quite well, cleared our lines. Again, I like to see, the goal we scored was quite a good goal, Typically, Arteta goal we're starting to see. I think we cleared our lines well. I think we played out the back quite well, even though Liverpool's front three were pressing us and forcing errors. We just let ourselves down for the goal. Ultimately, we conceded, but we showed, good composure to win on penalties, especially the young players, Reece Nelson stepped up, Maitland-Niles stepped up. To be fair, I know he's not young, but I didn't think Cedric would score that penalty. And I've heard David Luiz, Arteta said it after the game, he's trained only once. And he put in a good performance today, really and truly. So, apart from the goal, I think we stood up to be counted, man. Let's start with the goalie. I'm going to give Martinez a 9, man. I think he did his thing today, man. He stood up to be counted. He made his saves. I don't blame him for the goal we conceded. He made a couple of big saves, as he keeps doing. And, it's his shirt to lose, in my opinion. Leno being my number one, but Martinez can't lose that shirt. And, you've all seen the comments in The Athletic in relation to his future. Every performance, hopefully it puts an extra 0 on his value, provided he leaves. And if he stays, we've got a decent keeper. So a 9. I'm going to give Tierney an 8. I think Tierney did his thing today. Solid when he could be. Speaking about Tierney, he's boring now. In a good way, in that I finally got a player similar to Aubameyang. I know you're going to give me 9 times out of 10, you're going to play good. Like, there will be games Tierney plays terrible, but they're going to be too few. Out of the 38, I'm convinced he'll only play 2, maybe 1 bad game in the Prem. And that's the level of consistency I want to see. It was a bit concerning again. I don't know if it's fitness, but he was holding his hamstring and he came off for Kolasinac. That's the one thing that goes against Tierney. You want him to be able to stay fit to cement his consistency, because we know he's good, but the Prem need to know he's good. So an 8 for him. I'm going to give an 8 to Luiz. I think Luiz did alright today, really and truly. I like that he kept trying to play out from the back. I'm going to give Rob Holding a 7. I'm going to discount for his involvement in the goal. I think Holding did alright, I was looking at him. You're the one I'm looking at to kind of have a bad game, because Mane had a good game. But I think when he got pulled out into that channel, as you would in the back three, there's going to be stuff you're going to have to deal with. So I'm going to give him a 7. I'm torn between a 6 and a 7 for Bellerin. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because it was a good game and say a 7. I think Bellerin weren't poor. Touch let him down a couple of times. Felt he grew into the game. Gave the ball away a couple of times, but I think Bellerin did okay today. Xhaka, I give it 8. I think Xhaka was good, man. Xhaka was one of the, if I selected the better performances that I felt, I feel Martinez is there. I feel Saka is there. I feel Maitland-Niles is there, and I'd personally go Xhaka. To be fair, you could throw El Nene in there, but I'll give I'll give Xhaka an 8. I'm going to give El Nene a bonus point and give it to a 9, because I think, El Nene's never going to, he's going to play sideways passes. He's not going to do the showman stuff. But I feel I couldn't have asked more from El Nene. I think he kept it simple. He put a foot in. He got about, had an engine. And, obviously he was given an opportunity for whatever reason to show Arteta you can do something. And probably still needs to be moved on, but he's done all he can to say, listen, Arteta, I know I was out on loan, but I've got something to say. Arteta was a former teammate technically of his, and Arteta does very well to point that out. So, it's up to El Nene, especially if other midfielders that weren't in the squad leave. Guendouzi and Torreira link with moves away. Ideally, we bring in midfielders, but El Nene's, for one, I wanted to phrase it better, that El Nene would be cool to not be number one, play the Europa League, FA Cup when it comes about, the League Cup, and whenever shall require sort of thing. But I think El Nene did well, so I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give Maitland-Niles a 9 as well, to be fair. I think Maitland-Niles was good today, man. I feel Maitland-Niles was very good. I'm going to give Saka an 8. I feel Saka was good. He obviously got an assist. In fact, I give Saka a 9. Bonus point. 9. Eddie, I give Eddie a 7. I think he worked hard. He won some fouls. He put himself around. Should have taken his chances a bit better, but I think he did all right. A bad man would have got an 8, but I'm going to give him a bonus point because at the end of the day, he scored the winner, and he obviously stood up to be counted for the last pen. So I'm going to give him a 9. So it was a good performance collectively from the team. In relation to the subs, I don't feel any of them can get ratings, but big up to Reece Nelson for having the composure to step up for the penalty. Joe Willett weren't on long enough to rate, but I really like how he put himself around. He won couple balls, sprayed couple passes, did what he could in the minutes he had. So not long enough to get ratings, but I think he did all right, man. I think, like I said, all I'm looking for is a consistent team performance, and I think it was there. I've already mentioned the things that we could have done better, but there's building blocks, you know. There's promise to be had over the Chelsea, City, and today. The problem is these are just isolated incidences. These need to become the normal sort of thing, and that's what you want to see next season. But in relation to this player ratings video, I've got nothing more to add, so I'm going to keep it moving. You don't know me, it's always a pleasure speaking with you lot. Deluded, I'm out.